Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible, where I pull from Warhammer 40k lore to help explain biblical lore. And today we're going over the Waaagh. Sorry, that's pretty pathetic. But anyways, so before we get into the video, take the wikis with a grain of salt, as some things are old lore and been retconned and stuff like that. And also, I do regular biblical videos. So it will be from Sundays and Mondays. But Thursdays will be the Warhammer 40k lore in the Bible series. And then Tuesdays are Warhammer 40k lore games and stuff like that. And I've been doing little skits and stuff like that with them as well. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. The Waaagh is the name given by the orcs themselves to the massive military campaigns they periodically unleash on the galaxy as part of their internal desire to seek out combat and war. The term also applies to the key concept of orc culture, around which the entire greenskin society, if it can be called that, revolves. Barbaric and savage, the greenskins spread across the galaxy like a viridian stain. They plagued the battlefields of the 41st millennium in great numbers, overrunning any who stand before them in a torrent of bloodshed and usually mindless violence. An Ork Waaagh is war on an apocalyptic scale. Orcs beyond counting swarm from one world to the next. Whole civilizations are exterminated, and defenders' armies laid to waste as the orcs plow through onward in an unstoppable tide. Orcs need battle just as humans need food and drink. Due to their warlike nature, they constantly fight amongst themselves, or launch periodical raids upon nearby enemies. Such conflicts tend to be small-scale or localized. They never really develop beyond random outbursts of violence and looting. Oh, I lost my place. However, orc populations can reach a critical mass that leads to full-scale planetary migration. This is known as a Waaagh, a crusade of pure aggression that crashes through star systems in an orgy of violence. Orc behavior is dominated by the Waaagh, which is also the name given to the gestalt psychic field the greenskins generate that affects the orc psyche, which allows orcs to instinctively recognize who is bigger, and therefore who is in charge, since might makes right in orc society. All orcs generate this field, and it grows stronger as the orcs enjoy themselves, generally while fighting. And as more of them congregate together in one geographical area, the Waaagh helps give momentum to the orcs' planetary assault campaigns, which are also known as Waaaghs. The orcs like to call a lot of things Waaghs. Such a Waaagh is a cross between a holy crusade and a pub brawl, with a bit of genocide thrown in for good measure. Thousands of orcs will gather together, drawn to the power of a single dominant orc called a war boss, or warlord if the Waaagh is particularly massive, who is bigger and more intelligent than the orcs around him. Then the orcs will set off to find an enemy to fight and defeat. Ork Waaghs will sweep whole planetary systems away and destroy armies and fleets in tides of bloodlust and carnage. And only once the orcs have killed every available enemy will they start to fight amongst themselves again. The Imperium of Man's tech priests have theorized that this gestalt psychic field also has a telekinetic or quantum probabilistic effect, allowing the seemingly ramshackle and poorly designed orc technology to work as the greenskins expect. It is believed that the reason this hypothesis came into existence is that the Imperium adopted the Adeptus Mechanicus religious belief that aspects of a universal machine spirit inhabits all technology, and that this machine spirit serves mankind at the command of the machine god. If this is the case, without a machine spirit, orc machines could not work, requiring some psychic cause to justify their often devastating effect. Furthermore, the Mechanicus Genitor Lucas Anzian has noted that many orc-built weapons will not function at all unless wielded by an orcoid, possibly supporting his hypothesis. Gathering the Waaagh. First and foremost amongst all the orcoid instincts is the literal need for an orc to wage war. Orcs need war just as a human or Eldari needs food and water, and over the long millennia of their existence, the greenskins have become very, very good at it. That is for sure. Due to their inherently aggressive nature, sorry guys, orcs constantly fight amongst themselves to prove who is the strongest, sharpening their inborn warrior skills and weeding out the weak, though the process usually possesses little threat to the larger galaxy. However, orc populations can reach a form of critical mass that can unleash a full-scale interstellar migration of greenskins. This violent migration and the planetary assaults that result from it is what Imperial servants refer to as a Waaagh. A crusade of pure aggression that crashes through multiple star systems in an absolute orgy of fury and violence. A Waaagh usually starts small, perhaps even as small as a single orc, who is visited by the orcoid deities Gork and Mork, with the dreams of great carnage. He will impart this vision to others of his kind through repeated blows to the head, or, if he is of a more intellect bent, he will bend a great orc war machine like a gargant that is the very image of his savage gods. Rumors of the coming Waaagh were spread through the local orcoid society, and the orcs began to unite. New war bands joined the growing throng with every passing day. An orc will... Sorry guys, my mouse is... I just need a new one. Anyways, an orc war boss will fight this way to the top of the hierarchy of this growing greenskin horde and earn the status of a warlord. Adding the armies of those clans, he conquers to his own horde. As news of this new position spreads, the trickle of orc reinforcements will grow into a green flood. Orc mechs will begin to collaborate on more and more outlandish projects, building ever larger war machines and weapons for the Waaagh. Smoke-belching mobile fortresses and titanic war engines are cobbled together out of nothing more than heaps of scrap metal and the always heavy-handed enthusiasm of the greenskins, another side effect of the growing gestalt psychic energy of a Waaagh. Alright. I'll read one more here. Okay. With each victory, the new war boss legend grows, and more followers flock to his blood-soaked banner. And as he fights to retain command of his ever-growing horde against a constant stream of challengers, he will subsume the armies of those he conquers into his own tribe. Gorkanauts and Morkanauts appear in growing numbers, their pilots seeking out the Waaagh with feverish intensity, while mobs of the mech boys raise towering scaffolds within each stampas, and even gargants start to take shape. These mighty effigies igniting some primitive drive within the minds of the orcs who see them, causing the flow of the Waaagh, energy they subconsciously generate, to reach fever pitch. Alright. So now we're going to move on to the biblical side of things. So we're going to start with the Anakim. This is very interesting. I'm going to bring up a Dungeons and Dragons thing here after this. But anyways, the descendants of Anak, Joshua 11:21, Numbers 13:33, Deuteronomy 9:2. They dwelt in the south of Palestine, in the neighborhood of Hebron. This is very interesting here. We're going to see the name of this. In the days of Abraham, and they inhabited the region afterwards known as Edom and Moab, east of the Jordan. They were probably a remnant of the original inhabitants of Palestine, for before the Canaanites. And by the way, these Edomites are very interesting characters, by the way. I have quite a few videos on them. Probably remnant of the original inhabitants of Palestine before the Canaanites, a Cushite tribe from Babel, and on the same race as the Phoenicians and the Egyptian shepherd kings. Their formidable warlike appearance, as described by the spies, this is interesting here, sent to search the land, filled the Israelites with terror. They seem to have identified them with the Nephilim, the giants, Genesis 6:4, Numbers 13:33, of the antediluvian age. There were various tribes of the Anakim, Joshua 15:14. Joshua finally expelled them from the land, except a remnant that found refuge in the cities of Gaza, Gath, and Ashdod. The Philistine giants from whom David encountered were descendants of the Anakim. So I found this very interesting. Of course, it's not history. This is a D&D story, campaign, I guess you would call them. So the first is, by the way, if you want to check that out, what is it? Go to Realm of Magic homepage, Anakim Blighted. Okay. Anyways, I'm not sure. This is on worldanvil.com if you want to check it out. If you're interested, I don't know. The first is Great Anak. They are humanoid, with males averaging 6.5 feet in height and 200 pounds. Females are slightly smaller. While all skin tones and hair colors are known for them, the majority of Great Anak will have grayish tint to their skin. They are usually thought to be primarily derived from Ork bloodlines. Interesting. As a result, but in some more technical worlds, have traced some bloodlines to human origins. Yes, this was primarily as the majority of them have fangs or tusks or other similar features meant to strike fear. Okay, I want to do this one. So Joel 1:6. For a nation has come up upon my land, strong and without number, whose teeth are the teeth of a lion, and have the cheek teeth of a great lion. So, just like I did in my Ork video, let's go lion's teeth. Check that out. So that's a lion's teeth, like an orc, right? So very interesting. So now, okay, Numbers 13:33. And there I saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants. And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. So very interesting. So now we saw that they were at, hold on, does it say here? No. So it says they were in Hebron, right? So we look here. Dwelt in the South Palestine in the neighborhood of Hebron. So Hebron or Shebron, is association, league. So it means an association together, kind of like a Waaagh. So very interesting. So now we're going to have a great Waaagh per se here. Revelation 28. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth. So this is Satan coming onto the earth, right? Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. So this is a great Waaagh. Okay. And Gog and Magog kind of come from that same area, which is very interesting. But anyways, that's a subject matter for another time. So now we're going to get into the Great Waaagh. It is generally thought within the Imperium that over the last century or so, the orcs have become even more aggressive and warlike than ever before, and the numbers of the Waaghs been recorded in all 5 segmentums is increasing. The Imperium has long theorized that the greenskin race possesses low-level background psychic abilities, a kind of a gestalt warp resonance. Orcs, of course, neither know nor care about such things, yet as warp space becomes more turbulent, so the orcs too are becoming ever more belligerent. This rise in new Waaghs has been most notable around warp space anomalies and regions plagued by the warp storms, with hundreds of greenskins invasion forces emerging from these areas every Terran year. Members of the Inquisition's Ordo Xenos have noticed a trend in the translations of glyph sequences found in orc camps, which speak increasingly of the Call of the Gods, a phenomenon felt most keenly by the nomadic Gorkanaut and Morkanaut pilots. The emergence of weird boys seems to be increasing exponentially also, with many claiming that they see visions sent by Gork and Mork. On the thousands of worlds, the ominous silhouettes of Gargants rise against the war-torn skies. The orcs' foes can only watch in horrified bewilderment as the phenomenon known as the Great Waaagh sees the greenskins floating across the galaxy in numbers never before witnessed, slaughtering everything in their path as they go. So there you go. There's the Waaagh and the Great Waaagh, and the biblical Great Waaagh, and all that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is now the end of the video. So I thank you for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.